what I would like to point out is um, the let's face it, the government, okay, does not want you to have guns. They don't want you to have guns. Let's just get it out. Let's just say it. Let's just say simple things. Let's try not to beat around the bush. I'm not a beat around the bush kind of guy. If you don't like that, go fuck yourself. Um, anyway, so what I'm trying to get at with gun control is they don't want you to have guns because essentially, if you have guns, you have the power. Okay, I'd say that I don't know what that. Sorry, there was something on my thing there. Um, if you have the guns, you have the power. Then governments don't like it when you have the power because you can essentially make all the choices. Now, if we were to beat around the bush, we could say all. I could, say all these little reasons about, well, it takes away your right to hunt, or it does all. What are some other arguments? It takes away your right to defend yourself against home invasion. But let's be honest. It's to defend yourself against tyrannical government. Okay? That is really what I mean honestly I'm not into the Constitution. I'm not into any sort of government. I really don't care. But if we're going to go off this American ideal of whatever constitutions and shit, we could state that the Constitution never really mentions anything about like hunting, home defense. These are the topics that are beat around the bush topics. That's what I like to call them. And they're really valid. I mean, if you really, really want to go kill some animals, like all the conservatives, out there, that's the big thing, their right to hunt, which is like a lesser reason to own guns. It's not even like the main reason for, which, that's just one of the side reasons. And it's like not even really, I mean, honestly, I don't care. I'm a vegetarian. I think it's just kind of dumb in general to even care so much about a topic that's just so like minute, Another reason I said was home defense, which is actually really important. I mean, first of all, if you have guns out of people's homes, okay, what you're essentially doing is you're making it so that they can't defend themselves from each other, okay? So the argument always is like, well, how do you decide who was right and wrong in the situation? And this is what I say. Why does there need to be a third party involved at all in the argument is what I'm trying to figure out. So what I'm saying is, like, why does the government have to even be involved? That doesn't even make, to me, that's not even, like, logical or reasonable, because if you think about it, okay, if someone broke into my house and I killed them, okay, and they were obviously just in my house, and they, had some, intent on hurting somebody in my house or me or whatever, stealing something, whatever it may be, and I shot them, I don't even know, to me, it's not even logical to have a third-party person making decisions on what's going on. To me, that's kind of like saying, like, we're going to handle all the problems at recess by getting the bully to decide who's right and wrong. Which I mean, and if you think about it, I mean, the government's a totally subjective opinion. They have no objective ruling. So they can essentially make and choose rules as they go. Okay, there's literally checks and balances, whatever. I mean, first of all, the Constitution's completely invalid. Since 1913 or something like that, there's been laws in place that can literally, first of all, the Patriot Act wipes the Constitution clean. Okay, if you don't know that, you don't know. You got to go check out what that is. Okay, because you got to understand that that's the main one. Well, there's actually been little laws set aside since, like, the early 1900s that have been pretty much that in little subversive ways can change exactly what the Constitution says. So pretty much what you're saying is I have a third-party person that comes in with their own subjective and completely biased opinions too. You know what I'm saying? So the judge is totally biased. The government can usually be paid off, or they usually have their own agenda. The courts are supposedly, some sort of like checks and balances, but whatever. I mean, it's just all the same people. I don't even know why that's confusing. If that's confusing to you, you're really lost. you're a lost individual, because that's exactly how it works. It's a total subjective opinion that has no objective ruling, that comes in and just says, like, well, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, we'll pick and choose, and we'll make you do this, we'll make you do that, and there's nothing you can do about it for both parties. So both parties essentially are getting fucked by the third party. And it usually has nothing to do with justice anyway, too. Like, it's not like they even really give a shit. I mean, if they really had it their way, they just come through and blow you all down. So, and which is apparent. But those are the beat around the bush topics. Let's get to the real shit. And the shit that the Constitution actually talks about. I mean, if you really want to learn about what the Constitution says and talks about, we're talking about what the Constitution really intended. Okay? What did the Constitution really intend? Constitution is talking about a militia, okay, that needs to be well regulated amongst themselves. Okay, so this is a well regulated militia amongst themselves. No third party, nothing mentioned about that. Constitution was very simple. Militia being the people, and ready to defend themselves. You know, from standing armies. Okay. So if you really want to talk about the Constitution, it really has almost nothing to do with those beat around the bush topics. I mean, it's helpful and it's good notes, but what's it really talking about? The government gets out of line, saying you can do whatever you want. It's essentially what it is saying. If you really don't believe that, I know that sounds so crazy. It's because in our world that's just so foreign. To even think of something like that. And that, my friends, is the problem. For instance, there was I watched this brutal video of this guy in New Mexico getting shot down by the police, some homeless guy, like 3 of them shooting him, like one unarmed guy getting shot down by like 3 police. And this is a situation where the guy totally had the right to defend himself. In fact, the whole country could have defended him. I honestly don't see the problem in that. The whole country could have defended him. I don't know why. I mean, we honestly we honestly just don't seem to really care, and it's just really rude to our fellow citizens. It's just pretty much saying I don't care. And what it is just setting up the bar a little bit higher so the government can pretty much do whatever they want. Now, I have popped up right here, it says, Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia, like I named, being necessary. So it means that these people concluded that this is a necessity, okay, to the security of a free state. Now, see, why did I see people would be like, okay, so why did you say that it's not a beat around, it's a beat around the bush topic to talk about home defense and hunting or whatever. I mean, in the Second Amendment, the thing that's supposedly defending your gun rights, which, I mean, it's really not if you know what's going on, is being necessary to the security of a free state. I don't know what that's got to do with those beat around the bush topics. Sounds like the main topic, defending yourself from tyrannical government. The right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, I mean, the government can't do anything about it, which is completely what they're doing right now. So what I'm saying is, if you bought into gun control, okay, what I'm saying is, in unapologetic terms, is you're a sucker, okay? I mean, look. I'll try to be unapologetic but nice at the same time. You bought into something that's really stupid, okay? Because think about it. If this were true, nobody would be allowed to have guns, right? I don't even get that. That's the big question. So, military, government, police, whatever, nobody would be allowed to have guns if they're all illegal. And some people will say, well, people would still be able to get their hands on them, right? And then the police need to defend themselves for something. Exactly the point. People would still be able to get it anyway. It doesn't matter if you have gun control. It has nothing to do with that. It's about making you a criminal if you do it. That's what it's really about. Think about it for a second, okay? So, I mean, that automatically makes the argument. First, and another thing, gun control is super idealistic. It's not even like within any real reason. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even really make that much sense. You know, I mean, if you think about it, because it's just idealism. It's thinking like, oh, well, nobody would have it, and everyone would. You always have people that still get their fucking hands on it. It doesn't even matter what you think. Not to mention that the government still would have it anyway, and so it's not even really gun control. It's just bullying. It's just bullying. You know, there's this stupid, you know, thing that people are into about gun control. These people that are actually gun control, they actually believe that, like, then then the government just gets to have them all. It's like, oh wow, all right, welcome to 1984, everybody. That's all I have to say. This one really drives me. This one really drives me nuts. I'll really get into some heated debates with people on gun control, because I think that if you actually believe in gun control, you're a nut. You're a nut, because it's like, people are like, oh, the guns are scary. If people have guns, it's really fucking nerve-wracking. It's like something like 200 people got killed like a week or something. Like, it was something like, no, I actually know. It was like over 1,000 people died from police in the United States in 2014. People, this is what guns are for. It's so that when the police go crazy, you can defend yourself. That's what it's really about. And if you think I'm some right-wing wacko for saying that, there's two things I'll say to that. Go fuck yourself. Second one is, I don't have a party, everybody. Okay? I just have all my own views. So if you think I'm some right-wing, because I'll get that, oh, you're some right-wing wacko, fuck you. You know what? I don't have any sort of right, left, whatever. And I'm real tired of hearing about this gun debate thing. You know what I'm saying? And you're even really pissing me off, like I said before. I know I've beat this around. I know I keep repeating this and repeating this. Whatever. I can. You know what? I'll repeat it if I want. Look, hunting and home defense is not the only thing that the guns are for. Those are the side topics that, yeah, they're even for. You know, that they are there for also. You know. But the main one, I've already stated it. Tyrannical government. Think about those 1,000 people. You know, here, I got one for you. You want to think about something? How about that girl that died like 2 weeks ago because police just went flying into her home? You know, oh, whoops, wrong house, killed this 8-year-old girl. You're going to tell me who the real thugs are. I'll tell you some real thugs. You know, the fucking 5-0. But you know what? This topic is just one of those ones that I can't even believe ever came up in the first place. In the minds of beings. I can't even believe it. It's just totally propaganda bullshit, and honestly, all kids should be trained with guns too. That's not a solution too. People always say, well, what are some solutions to some of the things we do? You know, how about you get more kids, you know, using guns and stuff, like actually using them, you know. Parents actually showing kids how to use it correctly, so they don't just, you know, I mean, see, that's just one thing too. You could have the gun, but then why even, you know, they know it's like, oh, you know, if something actually does happen, the person doesn't even know how to use the fucking thing. People should be taught how to use it in a respectful way. A respectful way. Yeah. Anyway, so this topic I know is overbeaten, and you know, you get all the people that are, oh, you're just some right wing. You know, fuck you.